Good day everyone, I am teacher Riza and I will be discussing about concentration of solutions. But before that, let's define first what a solution is. So a solution is a homogeneous mixture of two or more substances. It is composed of a solute and a solvent. A solute is a substance that dissolves in a solvent that produces a homogeneous mixture, while a solvent is a substance in which a solute dissolves in order to form a homogeneous mixture.
In this lesson, you will be applying your skills in preparing different concentrations of solutions. In preparing this solution, you will express concentrations of solutions quantitatively by preparing different concentrations of mixtures according to uses and availability. Many of the materials used in science are in the form of solutions, which can be available at home. For many purposes, the exact value of concentration is not critical. In other cases, the concentration of the solution and its method of preparation must be as accurate as possible. Quality and fresh chemicals and solvents are used and meticulous procedures are followed. Thus, it is very important that when solutions are prepared, an extra care should be done and that the resources or materials should not be wasted. The available resources or poor method in the preparations of solutions can greatly affect the result of the mixtures being prepared. For example, in pharmaceutical laboratories, the exact amount and concentrations of each solution must be carefully done so as not to harm the health of the people or consumers. Accurate solutions can be prepared in laboratories because of the availability of materials. Since there is no access in the laboratory today, you will be preparing solute which are available at home. On the next slide, you will see a video presentation on how can you make a solution.
Okay, now we're going to talk about how scientists distinguish solutions. Let's say, for example, I mix up three solutions. I've got about oh, 50 milliliters in each of these containers. Now, I've got 50 milliliters of solvent in each of these containers. In this case, my solvent is water. And I'm going to add some solute to them. But I'm going to add different amounts of solute. In the first solution, I'll add about a quarter of a teaspoon of solute. In the next one, about half a teaspoon. And then in the next one, I'll add about 2 teaspoons. And I'll stir them up. And you'll notice a difference between each of them. This solution, where I added a quarter of a teaspoon of solute, is quite weak looking. It's very light. This one's a little bit darker because I added a little bit more solute. And this one is quite dark because I added quite a bit of solute. Now, the way that scientists classify solutions is based on their concentration. So if you look at each of these three solutions, this one is not very concentrated. This one is called dilute because it doesn't have very much solute in it. This one's a little bit more concentrated because it has a little bit more solute. And this one is very concentrated. So we call this one the concentrated one because it has so much more solute than the other three. So we've got dilute, a little bit more concentrated, and then this one is the concentrated one. And if you think about sometimes when you make orange juice from a frozen can, it will say from concentrate. That means that they've taken all of the water out of it and concentrated it. So they've made it extremely concentrated. And then what you will do is you will add some water to make it less concentrated and drinkable. So that would be more like a glass of Kool-Aid that you could drink when you add a little bit more solvent.
There are several ways to express the amount of solute present in a solution. The concentration of a solution is a measure of the amount of dissolved solute. A dilute solution is one that has a relatively small amount of dissolved solute. However, these terms are relative and we need to be able to express concentration in a more exact quantitative manner. Also, be aware that the terms concentrate and dilute can be used as verbs. So if you were able to heat a solution, causing the solvent to evaporate, you would be concentrating it because the ratio of the solute to solvent would be increasing. If you were to add more water to an aqueous solution, you would be diluting it because the ratio of the solute to solvent would be decreasing. Now, let's talk about percent concentration. This percentage can be determined in one of three ways. First, the mass of the solute divided by the mass of the solution. Second, the volume of the solute divided by the volume of the solution. Or third, the mass of the solute divided by the volume of the solution. When the solute in a solution is a solid, a convenient way to express the concentration is a mass percent, which is the grams of solute per 100 grams of solution. So we can compute for the percent by mass by using the following formula. So, percent by mass is equals to the mass of solute over the mass of the solution times 100%. So, suppose that a solution was prepared by dissolving 25 grams of sugar into 100 grams of water. The percent by mass would be calculated as follows. So, percent by mass is equals to the mass of the solute, which is the 25 grams of sugar, over the mass of the solution, which is the 125 grams of water, times 100%. So, if you divide 25 by 125, you will get 0.20. And you will multiply it by 100 so you can get the 20% of sugar, which is your percent by mass. Another way to compute for the percent concentration is by getting the percent by volume. The percentage of solute in a solution can more easily be determined by volume when the solute and the solvent are both liquids. The volume of the solute divided by the volume of the solution expressed as a percent yields the percent by volume of the solution. If a solution is made by taking 40 ml of ethanol and adding enough water to make 240 ml of solution, the percent by volume is computed as follows. So, percent by volume is equals to the volume of the solute over the volume of the solution times 100%. So just as the same, by computing the percent by mass, we are going to substitute the given to the following formula. So 40 ml of ethanol here is your volume of the solute, while 240 ml is the volume of your solution. And then you are going to multiply it by 100 in order for you to get your percent by volume. So 40 divided by 240 is actually equal to 0.167. And then, after multiplying it by 100%, you can now get your percent by volume, which is 16.7%. After learning about the concentration of the solutions, you can now do the learning task number 1. Read the next slide and answer the guide questions that follow.
created using Powtoon.